this table where we laughed and talked all day. So long ago, love was offered. The joy of being together made you want to stay. Take me back.
Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Life with Nana. I'm Nana, and I'm so glad you're here. We are now kind of in the middle of the Every Bit Counts challenge. So today we're going to be doing a few different preservation projects that kind of have been being put back on the back burner, you should say. So I have jalapenos from the garden, and I have some in the freezer. And I'm not going to get those out of the freezer until our cream cheese gets softened. So we're going to do a couple of different projects before we get to that one. Now, for the jalapeno poppers, that's what we're going to be making with those. We are going to need some thin sliced bacon. So I have that. I'm going to put that over there. The first thing I want to do, though, is to get my thick cut bacon on a baking sheet, and I like to cook it on a rack and get it in the oven. I already have my oven preheated. Yes, I do. You have to push start. I always somehow forget to do that sometimes. So I'm just going to cut this off because I don't think we're going to need it. I want to cook all of this bacon. One thing that really helps in the morning, because Papa and I have started going to the gym. And what really helps is when we come back is to be able to have a nutritious breakfast. And part of that includes some mornings a slice of bacon. Look at this bacon. Isn't this gorgeous? Look at that. That is so pretty. So what I'm going to do is cut this right in half. And I'm just going to lay it on top of, I have a baking sheet lined with foil. That's going to help with cleanup. And I'm just going to lay this bacon out on my sheet here. And we'll be letting this cook while we take care of the jalapeno poppers. Probably what we'll do first, though, I have some old bread that I need to turn into breadcrumbs. And so we'll probably do that first and give the cream cheese here just a little bit more time. Are y'all participating in the Every Bit Counts challenge? Now that's put on by Jessica over at Three Rivers Homestead. Jessica has a large family, and so she preserves a lot of food. It's fun to watch. I love seeing her children grow up. They're amazing kids, and she's an amazing lady. So I really do like her channel. Highly recommend you go over and check that out. Let me put this back in the refrigerator. My oven is already preheated, so I'm going to go ahead and get this in there and get it out of my way. There we go. All right, so we have 2 layers of bacon cooked and ready to go. And we will put this in the refrigerator, and we will have this for the rest of the week for recipes or just for breakfast or lunches or something like that. But isn't that nice to have that done? Love that. All right. Also, we render our own lard here. I was looking for my canning funnel, and there we go. smoky in here, isn't it?
Papa's looking for the fire extinguisher.
What?
Papa's looking for the fire extinguisher.
The fireman in him is popping out. He said he was looking for the fire extinguisher. It is smoky in here because of cooking the bacon in here. Normally I would cook it outside, but today it was just too hot. I should have done this yesterday or the day before when it wasn't quite so hot. Another thing we like to do is to save the fat off of the bacon. And that is really good to go in beans or when you're cooking eggs or whatever. Now I put this in here and I'm just going to put it right back in the refrigerator. And I love how easy this is to clean up. Let's get rid of this. That's all you have to do to that. This is perfectly clean, so I'm going to put that back up, and I will see you back here in a few minutes. I really like to try to clean up as I go. I did not start out with a clean dishwasher this morning, unfortunately. I forgot to turn it on last night. These things happen. Okay, so I'm going to need these chives for our jalapeno poppers. And as you can see, I had some that were kind of dark. So that's good. Now we're going to tackle these breadcrumbs. Now I had some hot dog buns, some hamburger buns, a few pieces of bread. You know how that goes. This thing and that thing. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this in my food processor. And they're not as, we're in the South here, guys, and things, the humidity is, see how that one broke really well. That one broke really well. All right. We're just going to keep going like that till we get all the bread into breadcrumbs. And then we're going to add our other ingredients. All right. What I want to do is one bag at a time. And then I'm going to add, I've got a little bit of this Parmesan cheese, and some Italian seasoning, and that's what I'm going to make is Italian breadcrumbs. And I'm going to seal these in a Mylar bag and probably just pop them in my long-term food storage. You could also seal them in a, let me get my little gadget over here. You could also seal them in a jar. You put this on, this is a wide mouth thing, and you put this on top. You just sit this on it, you turn that on, and it sucks all the air out. So you could use something like this, and that would be good, you know, for what people call short-term storage, which would be a year or two. So, and I may do that, who knows. All right, I'm afraid I'm going to get those I'm afraid I'm going to get those two ground up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two pieces out and I'll just lay them with these. And I don't know how much is in here. It looks like about a cup, so I'm going to put somewhere around a half of it in here, about a half a cup. And probably a tablespoon, and then we'll see how it looks. A heaping tablespoon. And that smells so good already. About the only thing I use breadcrumbs for is if I'm making meatballs or meatloaf, which I will be making today, some meatloaf. So we'll save some of these for that. That smells perfect. You can smell the herbs, you can smell the cheese. That's going to be just really, really wonderful. All right. So I get asked where this came from. This is a funnel off of a juicer. I found it at a yard sale a long, long time ago. I use it so many times a week. So I really enjoy having that. See if we can fill up this jar. All right. Now, let me show you how this little contraption works. You can use a used lid on this for this application. So I'm going to put the wide mouth thing over the lid. This just sits on top. You turn it on, and if you listen, you'll hear it when it starts bogging down. Hear that? Okay. So that means that's on there. It's not going anywhere. And I will write on there that that is Italian breadcrumbs. So let's get the rest of these, because I'll probably use most of these in the meatloaf if it turns out that I need them. How did I do that? Okay. All right. Now, these, I probably will transfer them to a Mylar bag and put them in my long-term food storage. Because I have breadcrumbs already on the shelf over there, and I'm making some more today, so I don't see that I'm going to need these in the next little bit. So, but I wanted to show you how this little thing works. So it's a handy little gadget to have around. All right. Now I'm just going to pour these back into one of these Ziploc bags, because we're going to have meatloaf for supper, and I will use these in the meatloaf. So we'll be using those in just a few minutes. All right, enough room for those. This gets thrown away. We buy that mostly because our granddaughter likes it, Papa likes it. So we do buy that every so often. All right, so let's talk about these jalapeno poppers. I have been collecting jalapenos out of the garden, sometimes 2. Today there were, 7? And I've just been putting them in a bag. And I'm not going to get those out yet because I want to get this mixed up before, I'm going to move this. I'm going to I want to get the filling mixed up before I bring the ones that are frozen out. And I want to get the ones that are not, I have some in there that are, some already in the freezer that don't have filling in them. So I want to do those first. We're going to wrap them with this thin sliced bacon, and we're going to put them on a cookie sheet, and we're going to flash freeze them so that once they get frozen in the morning, I'll come and get them and take them and put them back in a Ziploc bag. And then I'll have them for the rest of the year. Now this is what's happening with some of our peppers. I don't know if you can see that. They're getting little bad spots on the end, and I don't really understand why. Haven't had that happen very often. So. And these are hot. They're hot to me. I know to a lot of people, jalapenos are not that hot, but they are to Nana. There's another one with a little bad spot. So Papa and I have been going to the gym, and we're trying to do a little better. I've been going to a class there for about a month now with my sister-in-law. As you age, I'm 62, so my biggest concern right now is balance and being able to get out of the floor. Like if I have to get down here and look for a pan, I don't want to have to call the fire department to come get me up. So. Of course, don't hesitate if you fall. That's not what I'm saying at all. If you need help, you call the fire department because they don't mind at all coming out and helping you. Papa was a firefighter for 30 years, and many times they were called out to help get people up out of the floor, or just get them out of the building where they were at to help the paramedics. And but where he worked, they went on all medical calls, so they always helped, whatever was going on. So. I love jalapeno poppers. It's funny, I'm not a huge fan of heat. I really don't like too much heat, but these jalapenos seem to be just perfect. And I grew the natto pinos. Have y'all ever heard of those? They're a jalapeno that's not hot, but it wasn't the same. It just didn't taste the same. Didn't taste right. So we went back to, we just grow a couple of plants of these because we do not use jalapenos much. All right. So I can put the lid back on my Italian seasoning and put it back where it goes. Let's move this over here. So I've got my little whisk here. Let me get my... Now normally when I do this, I just put in there what I like, you know. I normally don't go by a recipe, but I'm going to go by a recipe this time for you guys, so that you will know exactly how to do this. And I just found this by Googling it, to be honest with you. So this one calls for jalapenos, of course, 8 ounces of cream cheese, a half a cup of shredded cheese. Now that can be whatever flavor that you like. I like the extra sharp cheddar cheese, and I'm going to put a little Parmesan in there too. 1 green onion, 1 tablespoon of everything bagel seasoning, and garlic powder. So let me get everything together, and then we'll get this mixed up. Let's see, what did I say I needed? A couple of different kinds of cheeses. Everything bagel seasoning. I'm going to be using some chives, but you can basically put what you want in this, really. It's just whatever you and your family like. I'm going to get some granulated garlic up here. And my measuring spoons. And I am going to just cut this into little pieces. And it's usually just me that eats these, so I tend to make them the way I like them. Papa doesn't like them that much. He might eat 1 out of this whole batch that I'm doing. But what I like to do is, if he's grilling or something like that, I like to put me some sweet potato fries in the air fryer and 2 or 3 of these. And that makes a good little side dish for me, and it's quick and easy. Alright, I needed my bench scraper. So we're going to put that in there. This calls for a half a cup of shredded cheese, and I have sharp cheddar here. That's what I'm going to use. I didn't get a full half cup. Let's put just a tad bit more. I'm also going to add Parmesan, which the recipe does not call for. But as I said, you could kind of adapt this to what you like. And I'm probably going to put about a half a cup of this in there. Alright. So we did our green onion, we got our cheese, our cream cheese. It calls for a teaspoon. I think I said tablespoon a while ago, but it's a teaspoon of the everything bagel seasoning. So we're going to do that. And 1/4 of a teaspoon of garlic, granulated garlic or garlic powder or whatever you have. I'm also going to add just a little bit of salt, probably 1/8 of a teaspoon. Raise this up and see what it does. We want to have, because I have some that are frozen, I want to have everything ready to go. And so I'm going to go ahead and open this bacon. Papa's being really sweet and cleaning that part of the house today. That's really nice. To be honest, we tag team things all the time, but we usually do things like that together. Just makes it easier. All right. So let me get me a little spoon. And this is a great way to use up things that you have in your refrigerator that need to be used, or you have like these extra jalapeno peppers, and there's just so many things you can come up with to, that way you don't have to, we don't have to waste as much as we do. It's like making the breadcrumbs. A lot of people probably wouldn't go to that trouble, but why not? I'm in here in the kitchen, and I'm doing a few other things. Why not go ahead and do that? I can tell these are hot because you're standing around and you put your finger in your mouth or something like that, and you get a shock because you've been messing with jalapenos. If you're doing a lot of these, I really suggest that you wear gloves. Wear gloves. And just wrap it like that, and that will be pretty. And lay my bacon down. These are going to be so delicious. I will definitely be having some of these today. These are going to be so good. And I love using up things that otherwise might go to waste. I'm really trying hard, because food has become so expensive, guys. It's really bothering me that everything that I see has gone way, way up. And I'm so happy that I have been able to put up as much food as we have, because, you never know when something might happen. All right, let me grab another bag. And I'm just going to grab one bag of these at a time, so see, this is what I've been doing. I've just been bringing them in just like this. And I don't want these to sit out for very long. I want to get them in the freezer. And sometimes I do just cook them without the bacon. So That's a possibility too. You don't even have to use the bacon if you don't want to. I got enough for 2 more. So let's grab 2. I had 3 pieces and not 2. So by now you've probably seen the video where I cooked the ham. Well, we ate on the ham for a couple of days, and then we took the rest of that ham and we cut it up into little pieces with the potatoes that were in there too, and we just put those in the freezer, and Papa has been enjoying those in the morning with an egg. So it's things like that that are going to save you money. If you cook something, figure out a way to make it into something else, and then you don't have to worry about it. I'm going to go put this in the freezer. All right, so we got a lot done today. We got half a gallon of breadcrumbs, which would have gone in the garbage had I not done that. So I'm really glad that I took the time to do that. And as I said, if I had chickens or if I had a pig or something like that, I would have just given this bread to them and then they would have turned it into bacon and eggs, right? So we went ahead and fried up a whole pack of bacon, and it turned out so good. Really, really good. I've already used some in our salad that we're going to have. You'll be seeing that on the next video. And we did our jalapeno poppers that turned out amazing. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. And just to show you that every little bit counts. Every little bit that you do, everything that you get up and you get done, it counts and it helps and it makes your life easier in the long run. So remember, Nana loves you, and remember that I'm so proud of you, and you always have a friend here. Love you.